Right, let's start looking at these markets from the Dow point of view. And this is the Sunday trading zone. So we gapped down to this area here, and the low of that first hour of the Sunday open was there. You can see a little dip above, close to the monthly pivot. We just touched this low over here, and then we've just been grinding our way down. Okay, so that Sunday zone was critical. So it's something I've always used myself and not spent enough time talking about. You can see the high of today. Let me get rid of that a second. You see the high of today was the bottom of the Sunday support. So that Sunday zone proved critical, and there's a couple other ways I use this in Forex. Not the Sunday zone in particular, but other zones, support and resistance zones I use as well. So that's going to be included on my Forex course that is imminent. Right, where do we go from here? This has engulfed the whole of the last 2 days trading. So I talked all last week I was talking about this level here, 15,080. Well, we've tipped below that today, and we have closed lower anyway. So I would look to short 150 if we see it, to see if we can wind our way down to this support here, 14,800. Alright, this is not doing it. Let me think. The weekly, yeah, we have got weekly support just under here at 14,950. But yeah, all the time you've got a downtrend, just keep shorting pullbacks and leave it. Okay, so that's what I'm planning on the Dow. Let's look at the Nasdaq, still holding up. With a new high up there at 32.52, and we've only just closed on support. Now that is a bit of a hangman, and so I would expect further downdraft of that now. I wouldn't be at all surprised if we don't at least start closing down here at 3200. S&P, very similar story. Here's the gap down from the Sunday open. There's the Sunday bar, which is sitting on this moving average, and yeah, we touched it a couple of times, including today. So we're underneath the daily 8 now for the first time in a while, since Friday I should say. So I would expect a pullback to 1690, and let's see if we can reach low levels down here. In the meantime, the dollar is still relatively weak. The US dollar CAD is just, anytime you get this kind of setup with the moving averages, just be very wary. That support was definitely viable, and there's a lot of support down there at 102.80. But this resistance here, I think this is a reversal bar up there now. I think we'll just continue to chop in this range, and at some stage we'll come out of that range. Sitting on a weekly 200 here. This is a weekly 200 at 102.80. But we can't close above the weekly 8, and any chart that doesn't do that, doesn't close above the 8, is potentially weak. We're above the daily 8, but we're under the weekly 8. Okay, so not touching that one. Now pound, let's look at all the dollar pairs. This one first. We've closed higher than yesterday's close. The trend line is still intact. I did short this at one stage. I shorted it from about 45. Once we got down here and started turning, I took it off. This is the Sunday open here. These two little bars here are the Sunday open. In fact, let me put the box on there. It's easier for me and you. That's the Sunday open, Sunday range, and on Monday we held it. moved up, and overnight Tuesday and into Wednesday we held it and kept going up. We're making a lower high up there and a lower low, so we are struggling. So from that high there, to that high there, we are lower. From this low here, this low here, we are lower. So if we do break down here, do start closing under this level here, 162 in particular, then I think this trend line is over, and we will start to head to at least one of these levels down here. But in the meantime, there is no reversal. On this RSI can stay overbought for as long as it likes. So we've got to keep buying pullbacks in this one. 162 is key level. Moving average is coming across. If we bend down to come and meet it and we hold, then I think we're going up to 163, 164. Got services data tomorrow. So all the data that's coming out, or most of the data that's coming out on the pound for the UK is positive. Pound yen is trickier. This is under. Let me drag that down for you, sorry. Do it this way. We are under trend line. If you look from this high to the left of your screen, so this little reversal bar up here, and this reversal bar up here, we are under this bar, but we are holding this support. So I think we could end up whittling around here for a little longer. Whichever way we come out of that one is the next leg, the next direction. Where do I think it's going to happen? Where I think it's going to go? I think we're overdue a pullback to this 50 EMA. We just look as if the 80 EMA is bending down, two lower closes on the daily. We just look as if that's not got enough juice to move up. So yeah, look at this. This is the 8 and 21 on the 60 minute. We just couldn't close above the 21 EMA up there, and we're very close to the Sunday support. A lot of charts have moved away from the Sunday support. This one hasn't, so we are struggling. I think any pullback to 158.40, 158.50 could see that short. Euro. The best chart of the day on Forex. That's now pulled back to 135.50. Might see a little lower than that, 153.40. That's not much in it, is there? But this is a lovely moving average, 8 EMA, lovely bullish chart. The trouble is with it, it's just very slow. Look at the Sunday. Here's the Sunday zone. So we drop in typical bullish consolidation. We drop lower before we get the break. Euro yen is really just not doing it, struggling. Yen pairs are having a tough time. This is the head and shoulders to me. Oops. I've got the head, the shoulder. So the shoulder, the head, the shoulder. And here we are, just broken down from staying under the trend line like we are on the pound yen. We're just clinging onto this. I still think I would look. We're under the monthly pivot. I would look for S1. I think 130, big round number. If the indices are going to drop, then I think the yen's going to see some strength, and then this is going to drop too. a bit of a hangman there, which will create a downdraft, I think. Okay, and Aussie US dollar I'm in still, and that's, notice how the stochastics are crossing. Notice how this trend line across here is holding from this low and these touches here. So I'm going to hang on to this. I'm sitting on this. I'm looking for 95. I pick this up at this level down here. I'm looking for that level up there. My risk, I've got about 45 points buffer, so I can move my stop, and I'm going to have to leave my stop at yesterday's low. So that's my risk, and that's my reward. Lovely double bottom. That's the upside of the W. To me, this is just a pullback, getting ready for another leg. So we could see 95.88, but I'll be happy with 95. I'm not going to get greedy, particularly with these markets the way they are. In fact, we're moving up nicely as we're coming into 94 already. Okay, gold is not tradable to me. It's non-directional. I think it's sideways. A lot of resistance up here, support down here, a lot of resistance up here. I think we're going to move sideways and possibly lower. Pound Aussie dollar we've looked at a lot recently. Sorry, I meant to look at this one. Pound Aussie dollar is looking, it's a stopping bar there. The stochastics are turned down. May see some more downward pressure in that one. I'll keep an eye on that one. Oil just went. I shorted it. Got 40 odd points on the short side down to this support. Took it off, and it just turned around almost at the blink of an eye. It took, once it turned around, it's difficult to trade because you had invents. You didn't want to get mixed up with volatility of invents. So this is the massive box from here to here. We've just come out the bottom of that box, and so could easily come into 105 now, monthly pivot. So that's a little bit of a risky trade. We are above this resistance, so any pullback to the 8 is, it's got the potential to move back to 105. So that's a pullback for 103. You see 103. That will give you a good risk-reward ratio. Alright, and a couple of stocks and I'll finish up. Tesco had a very strange move. I think that was results. So it yanked itself down to 343 and closed up at 352. 50% fibs you can see just here. It closed above it. I would that's if you buy 354, you're going to have a stop all the way down there. Not too far away, depending on your position size. Best I would let it settle down. As soon as the markets are sideways to weak, I would let that settle down and then pick your spot. Sainsbury's is coming off. Barclays is holding up. There's a nice channel there. Let me just point out the channel. We've got that and that. So if we can close above this area here, I would see that challenging the top of that channel and possibly even going up to that resistance area. Because if you look at it from the point of view of support and resistance alone, which I would thoroughly recommend be your priority, that support, which we closed above, that is resistance. We've just come out the bottom of the box and got back in it again. So I think that is a buy. 272 is a buy with a stop at least there at about 255, 260 to see if that can get through all that congestion and wind its way back up. Domino Pizza is doing okay. We dropped to the bottom of the flip zone, held, moved up, moved sideways, and now we're busting up. If you're not in that, that's a pullback at 602. Very clean chart. Hammer on the 200 EMA on the weekly. A couple of US stocks. Actually, continue to watch this one. It's drifting low. This is Man Group. Yeah. Coming to support. That's a nice triangle. There's a lot of triangles happening on these charts. So if that closes above that area there, which will be about 82, I think this could potentially come back to challenge monthly R1 and possibly even wind their way back up to this area here. I do like that. It's a decent pattern there. Just wait for confirmation. It's closed lower. It's dropping lower below the recent. Just holding that 81 support. Just Cree pausing. That's such a huge bar. It's too dangerous to get into that. Unilever is not doing it. RSD. So we dropped all this distance here. We ran back into that. I think it's 100 EMA, and then there we are back down there again. eShore is struggling. Not happy. Oxford Instruments holding up well. Okay, so just be wary. I think we've got more downside before we're going to see more upside. Yeah, just to finish up on what this Dow is looking like, because if we come out of this area here, if we come all the way down and test that area there, we've got that resistance up there. If we keep closing lower and can't hold this area here, then we could start even coming down to 127 extension. And who knows? You've had a long old run up. This would be a modest way of just pulling back after all this heat that's got into the market up here. Okay, and this is typical in this time of year as well. October tends to be a little choppy, a little indecisive, a little weak. So be on your guard. You can see these two, standing back for it, you can see the two moving averages beginning to pinch together, signaling at least a retest of this 200 down here at 14,855. Alright. Okay, I hope that helps. And so I like the Euro US. I'm in the Aussie US. Just be wary of those yen pairs. Alright, bye for now.